Hello. Not done one of these in a while. Um, so yeah, excuse me. But yeah, the fundamental to get right to it is admissions of guilt, or like the ability to admit, fault or guilt, regardless of how extreme it is. So I guess like to like cut straight to it. Obviously, there's a massive, like with anything, gauge of like what guilt, or sorry, what you could be wrong for doing, that where sort of an admission of guilt would need. So it's, it comes across from, your dog eating a, half a Kit Kat off of a table while you're not looking, right through to like capital punishment. Obviously those two things are not comparable, so there is a yeah, a hell of a like a metric. But I feel like the majority of stuff, whilst not in the middle, it does sort of sit in the usual sort of bell curve hump. um the thing that I've noticed, and I don't know whether this is post COVID, I don't know if it's copium, or whether this is just something as I've got older, or I'm not really sure what. This is why I'm trying to like talk through it, I suppose. Hopefully get some feedback as well. There doesn't seem to be the same. When I grew up, even if you said something was wrong, you said it knowing like your parent or whatever was knew that you were wrong, so you get punished anyway. So whilst you're lying, like you're lying in a way almost that you got punished because they know it's right anyway. Like they know they were right. Like you said it in a way that wasn't convincing, and it was kind of just one of those like cheeky of the period kind of things. Obviously, doesn't really make sense, but these days, especially noticing the last. I mean, we'll call COVID like a breakpoint because that changed kind of everything. No one, it feels very rare to be able to get like an admission of anything at all, even if it was just, oh, sorry, I didn't hear you what you said properly, or oh, my bad, I interpreted that wrong, or I don't know what's things that. Oh, even if someone cuts across you, just getting glares out the window, and I'm like, I'm not even I'm not even aggressively like like honking my horn or anything. Like it feels like everyone is so like on angst, myself included, where it's like, and I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know whether it's because everything is so much online, and being online is brutal because obviously there are, you say something in person. So I'll give that example. Growing up, you have a problem with something, whether it's like being confronted because you've stole a neighbor's bike, or whether because your mum has caught you bunking off school, or any number of things, right? Most of the time, you're going to be confronted one on one with that, so you're going to have to deal with that. So you've kind of got two choices. You either like admit it and then hope and just go, "I'm really sorry," and then hopefully you'll get sort of reduced sentence, so to speak, or you'll get, it'll be like a lesson learned, I guess, is kind of the point of those situations. Um, or you just deny it and try and run away, and then most of the time, likely, you'll receive like a far greater kind of punishment and stuff, which is, as it should be. These days, it's like, it feels like the majority of stuff is kind of faceless. Like, even in like driving in a car and things, like I know that was always the case, but no one's realistically going to stop on a road and get out and confront. Like, I know it does happen from time to time, and the majority of times where people, you'll just say, "Hey mate, like what's the need for that? Like, is there any need?" And it's just like, it's a faceless person through an IP address through the internet. They're not going to be confronted by anything. So it's like it's far easier to just kind of do what you do without any rules, Like if rules just went out the window. I do feel that it's detrimental, genuinely, to society. I can't be like one of these people that's just like, oh, and I'm such a, because heat the moment when things go wrong, or you're just having a bad day and stuff. I've logged on to like a game, and then I've been like, no, I'm not dealing with this and you just like unload on someone unnecessarily and just be like, can you just F in this and that and stuff? Like, how can you be such an idiot and all the rest of it? And it's like, that is me doing exactly what I hate. It's a faceless person. Like, no one could come up to me. Like, no one's going to knock on my door and go, hey, what are you saying? What are you saying? Like 3 days ago. But I do feel like it's one of those things where it's like, it's become easier for people to, and like, to just dismiss stuff and just not have good conflict resolution. Like, to kind of flip it on its head, like some of the best conflict resolution I've had is when whoever initiates it is able to just wind it down like a little bit, and you say something which it makes it, this was annoying, you know, man, like come on man kind of attitude. um and the other person, you give them a little bit of time, like a few seconds at least, or you know, they may reply. I know if it's in like a gaming world, they could reply at any point, and they'll come back and you have like a decent conversation where, yeah, I'm just having a bad day, because you don't know what people are going through. That's the thing. Like in any situation, if it's confrontation, like face to face, you don't know what they've been through in during the day. It's just in face to face. You are their point of contact, so you're going to any kind of like wrath that they feel is like gonna, you know, you are the person that's gonna get it. If you don't like give them an opportunity. I just feel it's one of those things where it's like, um I'm much of a hermit these days myself, but like it's something that I've definitely noticed is worse. I feel like it's one of those dying arts where if someone comes at you in a nice manner, you know, a respectful manner, where they're just like, come on, Matt, like, did you really need to say this, do this, be like that, whatever it may be, you know, in whatever circumstance it might be. Um, and you're offered like an opportunity to kind of like reflect on it. You should be able to have an adult conversation. That is like ultimately the reason why we're not primates, like obviously opposable thumbs and all the rest of it and stuff. But like, that's what we're supposed to be good at doing. And it does feel like a sort of an age of regression where it's so easy, where you can be, you know, I'm going to use the term keyboard warrior, because there's no repercussions unless you do something illegal. And then obviously like people would, you know, it's different matter and stuff. If you don't do something illegal, you're just this person where you're just like venting your own shit. You're just like spouting your own shit out because you don't deal with it in person. And I have 100% done that. It's not something I'm proud of. It's not something which is, it's kind of one of those things that's been reflective today. But yeah, I do think it's one of those things where if you've got a minute, take a minute before you say something, regardless of what media platform, IRL, whatever it is. Take a minute and just go, is this exactly how I want the conversation to go? Because just expect something back. No, if you don't expect something back, it's not really a conversation. Peace. I don't know why I did that.